Coming to you live from Kgosi FM studios, coming to you live on www.khosifm.co.za. My name is Kgosi FM, and the show today is the Kgosi FM live show, as you know, coming to you directly from the Kgosi FM studios, right here in Westview, Pretoria West. I'm with my guest today, MK people in the Hiza. I never thought I'd ever have you guys here, to be honest. I never thought I'll ever have. I even bought my own spear. You know?
Nice one.
Yeah, because I've been anticipating this talk, guys. Dumela.
Evening.
How are you? Don't be shy. The mics are your friends. Don't be shy. Because people need to know.
Now we're good, man.
Who are these people? Killer one. Yes.
MK's in the house.
MK's in the house, people. All right. Like as you're saying, guys, you're coming to you live on Facebook now. My Facebook page is Kgosi FM. Just go there, log in, and then you'll see. Many people have logged into the stream, by the way, guys. To just tell you now, at least you have spread the word. For guys must listen to us. Yeah. We are here coming to you live, as I said. I'm live on one platform, Facebook Arena. We're watching. You can even log in your phone now and see yourself on TV. Hey, so you wanted us to talk, man, about before then, because I just want us to relax a little bit, right? Relax. You can have a conversation. As I said, this station is uncensored. This show Pilapil is uncensored, is unfunded, is unscripted. Hence, there's no papers except for the people's mandate. Yes. That we're gonna read from today and hear about the 8 pillars of MK Mukondo, which is the party that's led by our former President Jacob Zuma. Gentlemen, ladies, welcome again.
Thank you for having us.
How are you? Maybe you can introduce yourselves before you can go further. Because for me, we're going to be listening to our sponsor for today, and then you can continue the conversation, all right? Or maybe let's start with the sponsor first, then we can come to the conversation. Is that okay? All right. So, ladies, today our show is brought to you by these. This show is brought to you by Sohwana Medical Services and Clinic. They're a private clinic situated in number 70, Tweevingers gras in Westview, Danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Again, the address is 70 Tweevingers gras in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Yeah, if you want the same advertisements for your business, please contact me on 064 548 7176 and at Laudirla and can play it on one of our shows as we are doing them almost every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So today is actually an exception because the people said no, we're going to meet on Thursday, on Wednesday. Maybe not today I'm free. I'm not supposed to be here. But because of, I have to honor the call of the comrades. So maybe we can start on my left, or and then what's your position in Mkondo Wesizwe? Then we'll take it from there.
Greetings to your viewers. Thank you for having us here. My name is Msizi Mabunda. I'm the MK Youth League Deputy Convener of Gauteng and also Inner City Zone Organizer.
All right. Sisters?
Hi everyone.
The rose between the thorns, eh?
I can very be thorny if I needed to be.
Yeah.
Sibongile Hlongwane from Inner City, Pretoria.
Yes.
I am the administrator of the zone.
Yes. All right. Brother Bonks.
Good evening, Mr. Kgosi.
Hey, time, brother.
No, thanks so much for hosting us this evening.
Yes.
Evening once more to the listeners.
And the viewers on Facebook.
Yeah. On various social media platforms.
Yes.
Chikichela, I'm going to Chikichela.
Hallelujah. And I got a Barbong saying again.
I'm the coordinator of the Inner City.
Inner City.
Yes.
Of MKP.
Yeah,
all right. What is like a Bertakant? Where's my beret, bro?
You'll get it soon.
It's again. And where's my t-shirt?
No, I get it when we're doing the celebration interview.
Yeah.
I will bring the t-shirts, everything, all the merchandise.
As I believe. All right, I think
socks.
These socks, me, bro, everything. Did it go somewhere? I've seen one boot is like in that MK look. I'm like, wow, now you guys are going for too much.
And the flip-flops.
Me, bro, everything's like, and that's what I like about this is because of like just when as an individual, when MK came and I saw people doing uniform, MK individually.
Yeah.
Like I was in this group. I'm in this group now. Like this. I'm in that group, and people are just showing their merchandise. Guys have got T-shirts. I'm like, wow, how did this happen? Like, how did this happen so quickly?
No, it was an energy.
One for that.
Yeah, and people saw a business opportunity, and MK was just like, no, it's fine.
Why
Go ahead
one?
with it, so.
Because you're used to centralized place, your uniform and whatnot. But this time, there's like people was doing it for themselves.
In a way, we're addressing unemployment. We're allowing all entrepreneurs to push and go for the same space.
Wow.
There's no limitations.
All right. No, that's good. Gentlemen, ladies, we are live on www.khosifm.co.za. The number for WhatsApp is 064548776. If you want to ask my guests any question, they're in the studio to you to come and talk to you and tell you how's the MK readiness and readiness MK today and the manifesto, the launch. I want to talk about sabotage. You can't talk about that. You're going to talk about that. You don't want to hear about this sabotage because I heard about sabotage. I'm like, this one I want to hear about.
Rumors.
And it's not rumors, bro. It's in the news. It's in the news. The news are saying there was a sabotage had happened. So I want to talk about that, but we'll come to that later, don't worry. Yeah. Because I got a lot of WhatsApps asking me, can you please, because people want to hear about, and people want to hear about everything else. Right? But you know the controversial ones. That's what people want to hear. Stories. You know what's happening? Because somebody was saying on Twitter, I'm always on X. Then let's stop voting MK. Because we thought we are putting the old man back into parliament. So if he's not going there, so what's the use of us? Because no, you don't do that. Keep on voting. It's not a problem. This will be sorted out soon. That's what I responded to the person.
There are many ways to kill a cat.
You understand? So maybe we can touch on that, not to talk about the sub judice matters and whatnot, just to touch for about people must just be satisfied. Okay, fine. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry about this and that. This is gonna happen. You're gonna be fine.
Politics, it's a terrain of different technicalities.
Yeah.
And this being one of them, the organization is fairly new. 5 months into its existence, following the establishment of the 16th of December.
Yeah.
So there are many things, the challenges to have overcome, and particularly, for our doomsayers and naysayers, who are saying that this thing won't materialize or fly.
Yeah.
But over time, we've proven them wrong. We've been taken to court on numerous occasions.
Yes.
The fighting the name.
The logo.
There's many things. Who's the president?
We're going to come to that as well. I want to know who's the president.
So this one is no exception at all.
Yes.
So then Deputy President of the ANC,
yes,
Kalma Mutante, was a caretaker prior to the election of Syria. So it has happened before, being a caretaker and waiting for his official term.
Yeah.
So this is by no means any exception. There are many technicalities at play. Yeah. So must just remain calm. MK is here. Despite all these things that are happening, let us not be discouraged or deterred.
Yeah.
We're full of zeal, and we're going to ensure come the 29th that we deliver a resounding victory. So our people they're not discouraged. This is one of the many ploys that are at play that we must just prepare for and just bruise and pass through.
All right. But Spongile, specifically to you, madam, why MK? Why must I go out and vote MK?
For me, I think it speaks to what I consider the pillars of a Black African.
Yeah.
And when I say a Black African, I'm not speaking on a Pan-African basis, but as a South African.
Yes.
I think if you look through the manifesto, it speaks about health. It speaks about how we should be involved in nationalization and getting back economical transformation, which is, for me, the biggest and the most important. Because if it wasn't for economic emancipation, I think as a Black nation would be far.
All right.
So almost most of the pillars cover who I am as an individual. And being a servant leader says at the end of the day, I am because you are.
Yes.
And Ubuntu says that.
All
and
right.
a Zulu child, I was groomed like that, Uchi. I am because there was first my grandfather, my grandmother, and I am. So if we are able to harness the fact that, honestly, land was taken from us, not literally through economic means, not even through a barter system that I'm giving you, like something with a phone, and you are exchanging a phone. It was not like that. It was something that was stolen. So today it has not returned. Literally came back to the rightful owners. And we are saying we would like that to change.
Okay.
How we do that is through one of our manifesto points. If you read through it, it covers how we want to do it. But most importantly, we want to cover the youth.
The youth.
At the end of the day, South Africa is covered by largely majority of the youth.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that the youth is covered. We want to make sure that the youth is able to sustain livelihoods. They're able to build their families. They're able to enrich their lives and feel as if now they are worthy human beings.
Okay.
That has got nothing to do whether you are a male or a female.
Yeah.
You just want to be able to provide for a family.
Okay.
And I think for me, I believe if you're a black man and you're unable to provide for your family, it also eats on the pride of who you are.
Of course.
So we need to also sort that out. If we don't sort out the youth unemployment, we are bringing up men that are more prone to being violent.
Okay.
And that has been proven.
Somebody will say, Cope came in like that. Remember? We're going to come to the pillars, ne? I'm going to read them with you and going to explain to me what is what. But then Cope came in and they were so colorful as well.
Yes.
You remember muna come on stira must clean about toilet but the caps the keepers different colors.
Yes.
Cope. I'm like, wow. What happened? Is this the new Cope or
it can't be the new Cope. If you look at President Zuma's presidential term, it was centered around radical economic transformation. It was centered around nationalization of resources. It was centered around free education. It was centered around infrastructure development, of which some of the great ideas that he had, including nuclear power, those things could not be implemented because of the pushback from white capital. So now you've got an individual or character which is of the stature of President Zuma, which you did not have with Cope, right? Okay. I don't remember filling up Orlando, but anyways, it's fine.
But come on, they did. I think they did by some point. And about Tomba Launch, I think they did. They were more popular in a way.
No.
They never did.
So, but look, South Africa as a society, politically, mentally, their consciousness have arrived at a point where they realize that land is at the center of the problems that we have.
Okay.
A nationalization of resources and having those resources work for us as a nation. Yeah. South Africa is there now. South Africa is at a point whereby they realize that we need free, quality, decolonized education. Yeah. Hence, we had fees must fall during, President Zuma's term. Yes. So MK comes as an answer to a question that is there. Okay. Hence, you had the nuclear power answer that came from President Zuma's term as a result of an electricity issue that was there. So MK is an answer to questions that have been there, which have not been resolved. And every time you wanted to resolve an issue, there was pushback from, internals from the ANC that were obviously beneficiaries of big business and white capital. Yeah.
Somebody would say President Zuma was president for 9 years, right?
Yes.
9 years he was there, but he didn't do all these things that he's now saying he can do on MK. So how can I trust that he's going to do it now?
Look, like I said, let's look at nuclear power.
Yeah.
Let's look at load shedding. Yes. I know now there's electricity because, it's election season. We all know and understand that.
Which will diminish after elections.
After elections, we're all going back to darkness, stage 6 and up to 16. That's fine. But let's look at nuclear power.
Yes.
Nuclear power was pushed back and we were even taken to court because President Zuma wanted to introduce nuclear power.
Yeah.
Nuclear power, if you look at its contribution to the economy and the livelihoods of everyone, it would have assisted with, I was listening to some interview and some ANC lady spoke of industrialization. And I sat there thinking to myself, how do you industrialize when you've got an ESCOM that is so messed up?
Yeah.
You can't internally industrialize and have industries that they claim that they are going to build and implement when you don't have proper electricity infrastructure. So then Zuma wanted to implement that and was taken to court on the basis of him being allegedly corrupt. So when you question that he was there for 9 years and he did nothing, the question is what prevented that? And already you've got the NGOs, Helen Suzman, you've got, what are these ones? All these foundations.
Ahmed Kaprada and whatnot.
So as soon as there's a progressive move that is being pushed, then you've got these internationally funded foundations that go to court and block off these things. And because the ANC is captured to a point whereby if the funders do not want,
was assembled here against one man.
Okay, and King Save South Africa.
Yeah,
was it a political party or just a movement that
so what Mrs. is correctly saying, these are organizations that are funded by international funders that have vested interest within the economy of South Africa.
Yeah.
Because we are a country that is blessed to have a lot of mineral endowment, of which we are not cultivating within our borders, but we are rather exporting it to come back as refined and finished products. Whereas we're losing the value chain.
Yeah.
Then that is what is important when we refer to issues of economic. Even the current government guiding document, is the NDP, was underpinned and brought forward by Comrade Zuma.
Yes.
In when was it? I think it was in 2014 when it came into full swing. So this is an unfinished business that Ubabu Zuma wants to see fulfilled.
Okay.
Issues of high unemployment, fees must fall. The very same issue of load shedding, energy crisis.
Yeah.
If you recall very well, on the eve of the recall of Babu Zuma, it was just on the eve, the Monday that where IPPs were signed and nuclear was reversed. BRICS had taken a conscious decision, as South Africa being part of the member group, that we are going to bring nuclear on our shores. Yeah. But prior to that, Capital had to intervene and ensure that we recall Babu Zuma. And immediately when the incumbent president came into power, recalled the then minister, of which was David Mahlobo, and put Jeff Khadev. The very same Monday, we signed IPPs and reversed nuclear. Look at where we are now. We're in total darkness.
Okay.
And this is a man-made thing.
All right.
It's a man-made.
You mean the load shedding thing?
The load shedding is man-made.
Yes.
We are spending a lot of money on diesel, whereas we are supposed to have fuel that is what you call coal. That is raw that is being exported through Richards Bay. That's why there was that crisis that took place when on the N3. Yeah. When trucks were torched. Because we're stopping the value chain. Okay. Why are we not safeguarding our own sovereignty? Because many people, they faced a lot of brutality from the then apartheid regime. Yeah. Some even died. Their blood and sweat. We must be able to preserve that. But over time, politicians have become overnight sellouts because our consciousness is being bought. So that is why Obaba is bringing back those funding principles. And this is no different to what is enshrined within the Freedom Charter. Yeah. What we're underpinning in our pillars of the manifesto. Okay. So we are saying, let us go back and re-look at where we lost it and go back and underpin the pillars of this particular organization, and therefore realize a rainbow nation that Madiba saw in us when he attained democratic dispensation in 1994. And Obaba is the only one that is in pursuit of that. Okay. Majority of the current leaders are not. Yeah. So we're from the belief that, of the firm belief that Obaba can deliver us. And despite the age or despite parliament, but his ideals will live. A person is not defined by who they are, but by the ideals that they prepare. Yeah. So that's how we judge Ubaba. That is the Messiah that we have in South Africa. Okay. The Thomas Sankara of our generation currently in Africa. So that is the premise that with Umkhonto Wesizwe, and the establishment was launched on the 16th of June. And when many were still in slumber because they wanted to also contest our registration. Yeah, I saw that. So they were busy with Ubusisi Mkhwebana. Yeah. So some of these things, the political players are indicators, because when you look on the other side, who are doing something. And Ubabu Zuma, by virtue of leading the intelligence of the MK during the struggle, So this tells you that the person is 10 steps ahead.
Okay.
Because the organization, now there's, the media is toying around who's the name, who's going to take over the MK.
Yeah.
We're not worried about that.
Yeah.
As long as what is underpinned in the pillars, those 8 pillars, gets to be fulfilled when we attain governance, then we're all set.
Yeah.
Yeah. The person is really not a problem, but we live to follow the ideals because people do not eat, the rhetoric.
Ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's the leader now, correct?
He's the current leader.
He's
He's the face of the campaign, will be there on the ballot. And when you see him smiling at you, you must just put the X next to him.
I'm in conversation with the MKP representative today on Kgosi FM. The number is 064-548-797. If you want to ask them any questions, send us a voice note as well on that. Or what's the report or any question. This uncensored. Remember, we are uncensored, unfunded, and unscripted in this place, so we talk. Sorry about the subjudice ones. So, like I say, he is the current leader.
Yes.
Jabulani Khumalo.
He was part of us.
Okay.
The story of the Bible.
Yes.
Jesus has 12
disciples.
Had 12
disciples, yeah.
That were following him.
Yes.
But he told them on the eve of the last dinner,
One day,
the upper room, that one
of you is going to betray me.
Yeah. He told them directly. So, likewise, in a collective, there'll always be that one
that is going to do that.
Will look for their own narrow interest.
Yes.
So within that collective,
there was one of
identified with Umashobani.
But how did he do it? Let's go
inside.
Emerged. Let's go in and tell. Because
the presence of
allegations
MK,
theory, he had a 2 million car, which I covered on the show. I did a show about him. And then he has a house in Balito, apparently. Give me back.
No, but a person that is driving a simple Suzuki Ertiga, overnight has a house, 2 houses for that matter. The houses, they range from about 4 million upwards.
Balito, yes, I know.
Yeah, and there's an entry level in Balito.
Yeah.
And when you draw closer to the beach, the market price goes up.
Yes.
So within a space of 3 months, this was in March.
Was he not using the company, the party's funds, maybe?
No, we don't have anything. We must be honest and upfront.
Yeah, because I know
that's
the
why
president...
we fill that stadium with nothing.
Yeah.
Yes. People have got a desire.
Yes.
They've got a burning desire to follow this particular movement. That will become a cornerstone because this is an epoch-defining moment.
Yes.
I like what you mentioned earlier on with regards to COPE. There's a UDM, there's a EFF.
There's ATM and the rest of them. There are some.
But the landmark that the MK has done, put in the political climate of South Africa, is by far surpassing all these other political parties. As a result, all these black conscious movement are coming together and forming a bloc. Yeah. To work together because there's something that is different from all these other political parties. So we're appealing to our people to make sure that let us rally behind MK. Yeah. What's the only solution that we've got now? And we're fortunate enough that Baba is still with us, so the ideals will live on and can be able to implement them, even from the sidelines. Yes. So that is primarily what we're focused on. All these other issues are just, by the way, things, because there'll always be ploys of political parties trying to relay us. So this is one of them where the media and Obab Khumalo is being used, when he needed to come and disrupt the program. But we are not discouraged. We are not.
Was he really sent in as a spy by the ANC?
It's not only him, just to be frank.
Is it?
There's more.
There's a lot of them
There are many that are planted within the organization. But an organization as big as MK, no, we are not worried.
What happened to COPE, though? What happened to COPE? Because, look, if you
it
look
died
at
like a 6-second,
you look at COPE, right?
Yeah.
Look at the COPE and how they split the organization, how they propelled one leader and parachuted them to presidency.
Yes.
So then there was a split in the party.
Yeah.
And then you look at EFF, how Julius tried to manage those affairs because the same mechanisms were used with COPE. Yeah. With MK, we knew that it's coming. We knew it's going to happen.
That somebody's going to try to do the same.
No, we knew. We expected it from day one. From the second I joined, I knew that it's coming. We've been on the lookout for it. Now, the mistake that he did was that...
Ujabu Kumal, right?
Yes. One, he's not known. politically.
And who is he, by the way? Because I tried to
credentials.
find this information.
I
I
don't know.
can't man.
Maybe my coordinator will be able to answer.
Even
so
though
I don't know him.
Wikipedia had a page in there, one.
If the Khumalo clan is rejecting him, but
I'm like, who's this person?
Yes, I don't know him in the unions or wherever.
Yeah.
So it was a strategic move to get him to register, because if it was anyone related or close to Zuma, obviously
that's gonna be a big
it
thing.
was going to be a problem. So it was just a strategic move to get him to register. Then from there, the mastermind stepped forward. Yes. So then from there, you don't have any resources. So when comrades are pledging and are funding the party from their own pockets, you go and buy a house in Palito.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
So he exposed himself, and luckily for us, we've got an intelligence that actually was able to catch him out.
So you never called him for a DC and at least didn't you? It's like expulsion.
It's a military organization. DC,
I get a protocol. Like you follow protocol and say no, man.
But if you are disciplined, let us be honest. You raise your objections within the confinements of the organization.
Of course.
But what he does is to jump to courts, electoral court, speak to media outside the confinement. If you are someone who's suspended, and the same thing happened to Julius.
Yeah.
He went through the guiding processes of the organization for this. Then once you are on the final stage, then you can do as you please, because the membership is expelled.
Yeah.
But he never afforded himself. But as a result, was retaliating.
Yeah.
To leadership. And the leadership is a collective. It's not only one person that can take a decision and say that I'm explaining you.
Yes.
It's consulted and there's processes.
Yeah. Until the decision comes. All right.
So he was impatient with the process because there is an ulterior motive that is carrying.
Yeah.
See? And you can tell by all these things that has been happening around him. He's taking us to court. One day he's quiet. He goes on interviews. The last time I think I had a clip, I think it was 2 days ago, he was asked on 702 that really, you're still the president. Why didn't you make your way if you say that you're the president at Orlando Stadium?
Yes.
He went and ducked and dived. so the fellow is not really a genuine politician. Someone who is an epitome of politics, you can hear in their tone.
Yes.
You see. But samcela bandla ukuthi hamba uyovula. Hayi uthi uzobayibamba. Hamba uyovula. So he failed to get the mandate.
No, but he formed you.
The decoy.
According to him, he formed MK.
That's what Mrs. is saying.
He said I'm a form.
Done by anyone who has known
to be close to the president.
Exactly.
Yes, it's going to be a big thing.
There's going to be a problem. The way that comrades within the ANC, they gave him even the chairpersonship of Sanko.
Yeah.
That's how they trust him. The very same people that led there as a chairperson of KZN or of Sanko, where are they today? I don't know part of MK, or they're still in the ANC. We don't want to worry too much because we don't want to give free airtime to ANC. But where are they?
Yeah.
Majority of them were there in Orlando.
Yes.
So this tells you that this thing is a magnet. Asibizwa sayizela. You are attracted by what the ethos, what this organization stands for.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not charmed by anything, doing promised money and all these things. It will never happen. Some amongst us will do so. You see?
Yeah.
About Judas, they are there.
They're still there now. Can you uproot all of them?
It's a June-July situation now because we're on the eve of elections. We don't have time to focus on them. But believe you me, after the elections, we'll deal decisively with them. And Ubaba, we must never make a mistake. I know people are always saying that Ubaba was not leading MK as an intelligence commander. He was the commander of intelligence of MK.
Yes.
You see his head. It operates 10 steps ahead of anyone.
Yeah.
He can calculate moves that you are thinking now, well ahead of time.
Yeah.
So they took it for granted that Ubaba Umdala is relaxed. No, he can never be casual, especially in politics. You must be, he's a chess master.
Yeah.
That's what they refer to him in political circles.
Yes.
So his moves are always calculated. And what is happening now, it's not new.
Ne.
And believe you me, there's already solutions to that problem. So this one was just a ploy, Abuchutas back corner. But after elections, people will be dealt with because at the end of it, all of us were all volunteers because we're all interim leaders that are leading through various structures to ensure that we deliver the mandate of the organization, which is 2/3 majority.
Yeah.
But after that, once everything has to be formalized, believe you me, men will fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
Not like cope. Not like cope though.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. The time is 7 minutes after 8. We're still coming to you directly on www.khosifm.co.za and on Radio Garden app. If you've got that one link, you can click on the link and hear us live on our Kgosi FM studio. So the show is the Kgosi on a live show coming to you Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays. Today is just an exception because the commanders are here, so I cannot say no. Well, we're not in Zang, yeah. I even got my own spear, but Tom Dim. Yeah, my own condo. I got my own. Yeah,
one of our own.
All right. So people are saying MK is more of a Zulu thingy going on. Nagi Motswana. So I want to understand that welcome to MK as a Tswana man, because they're saying it's a Zulu thing, you know. I mean, I'm on X all the time because I'm fighting everyone there. I'm fighting white people, I'm fighting everybody there. So I'm always on X and people are talking. And then if you don't listen to that kind of rhetoric, you won't know where you stand as an organization. You need to go down to that level and hear what the people are saying on the ground. So, yeah, Conversation is more Zulus and whatnot. It says, Zuma. There's an account more X. I don't know if you know it. Gulam.
Oh, no.
Do you know that nonsense?
We've got many Gulams.
Yeah, we've got many. There's Gulam Juniors and Gulam Seniors.
That one will be easy there, boy. Yeah, I was like, wow. So, guys, talk to me. Tell me. Northwest, is this a Zulu thing or like are we all welcome?
The organization is not tribal.
Yeah.
It might be dominated by Zulus.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's totally devoid of being a tribal organization. We've got a presence everywhere throughout the country. Western Cape were there, which is mainly dominated by Colored and Xhosas.
Yes.
Eastern Cape were there. Limpopo were there. Kibabedi.
Matsonga, Mavenda, yes.
Exactly. Northwest.
Kibatswana. Yeah.
This is dominated. Free State were there. So throughout the country, because we're diversified, people do not commit to something of no substance.
Yes.
Because they see there's something of mobile fiber there that can change the way our people are living. You can, I want to put it as a broad church because a broad church does not have direction.
Yes.
You need a philosophy, an ideology that one can follow.
Yeah.
And we are African nationalists. That's why Ubaba says that we must bring back power to Amakosi and live. We're not saying that all together, but Roman Dutch law can be the supreme law that governs us as Africans.
Okay.
So we can't subject. And people are appealing. And we're saying that religious leaders must also play a primary part.
Yes.
Within the structure of governance and leadership.
Yeah.
So there must not be a backseat only come when there's things are getting out of hand and pray for us. They must pray seriously. So all these things and that are underpinned in our manifesto is what shapes the organization to come together from all walks of life, whether you're black, you are an Indian, colored, or white, irrespective, we come together.
Yeah.
And people are resonating, you know, they're feeling this thing. It's a wave of air that is going to be present, omnipresent throughout. That's why the opposition are very wary of MK. You know, speaking about us, DA, we're fine. As long as they're giving us free publicity, we'll follow. But the organization is not formed by virtue of being a tribal organization, which is Zulu.
Okay.
Yeah, we're everywhere. People must not worry about
so everybody's safe. They can join anyway.
Everyone is free to join.
Yeah.
What's
up,
No,
as a woman, she'll
they are
come.
capable.
All right. Yes, MC?
No, check. Look, if you look at what President Zuma has done in his term, when he built those two universities, what they built in KZN. When he stopped load shedding, did he stop load shedding in KZN?
Yeah.
When he built the infrastructure that he built, did he build it in KZN?
No, that's everywhere.
There's police stations and clinics in Limpopo and in deep rural Tonga areas whereby he built infrastructure in those areas.
Yeah.
When he pronounced and pursued free education, was it for KZN students or Zulu students?
Yeah.
So we must be wary of this hand that we put in front of our faces, which is this tribal thing. It's like a veil.
Okay.
So because they see that MK is a tsunami, then they come forward and say, no, it's a regional party, it's a tribal party. But when you look at the individual and his term and what he achieved, you can see that he actually served everyone. He did not only serve Zulu people.
All right.
Yes.
Again, like I said, people are on X, and since Elon Musk got that app is such a cesspool, if it's not you're going to hang yourself on Twitter if you don't have a heart to stay there. So people are talking too much about this thing, and obviously there are those doomsayers, and there are those who are talking, hey, whatever. So now these questions is what I got. Since I posted a report, ask them about this because we want to know Are we doing this for Admiral Duduzane, legacy? And because those are things that have been said as well. No, why? Back about Duduzile, back about Duduzane, and everything like that. So, yeah. I don't know what that's bunging. Yeah. Are we building legacy for one Zuma?
I think it's just shameful that if we are analyzing as black people, we always analyze, when it comes to Ubabu Ngamalala, we always analyze family, corruption, and I don't know, I think he was also dubbed with state capture. But if we're being honest, we cannot say by the term of Ubabu Zuma, there was state capture. While we've always been state captured, we've never had our economy. So for me, I think the only reason why that even made mainstream media was just because the people who were used to eating were no longer eating, which is literally the other race. They were like, okay, you're taking it from our mouths, you're giving it to another considered black tribe. So let's make it an issue. But I think for me, most of the things that he went through is also testament. Consider it right now. He has the right platform. He could honestly speak to people like us who are willing to ride it through for MK and say, comrades, let's rise up, arms up. He never said that. Then how do we perceive that as a leader who's not thinking only for South Africans and black people and consider him as the villain? He's the one president out of all the presidents that we've had who's been considered for corruption, for bribery, for extortion, money laundering. But right now we've got a president who has done something very questionable. We knew about it. Nothing happened. He didn't even explain to the public or even apologize. Literally, it's illegal what he did in international markets. In be amazed. But it's politics. Again, it's a game.
Of course.
But understandably so. I think for me, he has kept integrity. He's an old man.
86 now.
He's an 86-year-old.
But still very strong.
Yes. In between that, we took him to court. He's the first
You took him to jail? 15 months?
Unofficially so.
Unofficially so.
We know about that one.
First president, not even president, the first human being
to be
South
put,
Africa to literally be given a guilty verdict by the Constitutional Court, which has also statistically is even questionable because the ruling of a Constitutional Court has got specific procedural things that they were supposed to do, which were not done.
Yes.
If you think about it. But that old man was able to then sit in jail. We never, as South Africans, not were judging at the end of the day. So for me, I think let me put it like this. The law of South Africa, whether it's the Roman Dutch law, right? So the law pervades everything that relates to life. That's including economy, that includes your livelihood, anything. So if we do not fix the law that guides the country, how do we move forward? How do we integrate the black mind? Or if we go back to black consciousness, we need to always remember what we need to first unshackle our own minds. And remember, we are worthy. You are worthy to you don't need to be rich, but you need to be able to sustain your lives at the end of the day. So if you are not able to do that, what's the point? Yet we are the richest mineral entity. And I'm calling us an entity because we're a country. We're the richest. But it has been proven, not only in terms of statistics, but in terms of academia, that we lose more than $1 trillion of illicit funds. Ubabu Tabombege, when he was doing one of what do we call it? Lectures, thank you, in the Timali school. There are studies that are being done. We know we've got illicit funds. Illicit funds obviously are funds that literally go out illegally. They are not taxed. They don't follow the right stream. But because it's a business that came and invested in South Africa, when it leaves or when it says giving dividends, for example, to shareholders that are in America or in UK.
Yeah.
They give them. The funds are gone.
Okay.
We are not getting anything.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, mind you, we've got a mining rights for some of white entities or white businesses that are owned in this country that are infinite. Have you ever even heard that?
Yeah,
like
well,
a license that is infinity.
Yeah, I agree. We have evergreen contracts, mobile ESCOM and everything for all these white companies.
And that is what must change.
Yeah.
That's what must change.
Are we going to change that when MK comes to the power? Let's talk about the Constitutional Court in the first place, right? What's your opinion about that? Please, what's your opinion about the Constitutional Court? Your personal opinion, not about when you're a leader. What do you think of this
not
court?
as
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I feel like for the longest time, actually, I don't like the fact that I've got 10 individuals that control the livelihoods of 62 or 65, 66 million people.
Yeah.
I don't think that's correct. And what's worse is that you have a constitutional court and a judiciary system that is very questionable.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a system that you question and you don't feel safe being a part of,
Yes.
then you have got a problem in society, right?
Yeah.
So you as you engage and deal with it and deal with the effects of the decisions that are taken, you further understand and get to learn that these guys are not actually working for me. They're working for certain individuals.
Yes. Now,
I don't trust the Constitutional Court, especially after Chief Justice Mogoeng mentioned that he was indirectly bribed, or they tried to bribe him.
Yeah.
Right, by stating that they want to give him funds so that he can invest in the
and develop the judiciary.
Exactly, and we all know that is a Western way of capturing an institution.
Yes.
So we know that it is taking place. We know that these 10 individuals are there, and it's easy now more than ever to just approach them and get them to issue out a certain verdict, which is why even when they jailed Zuma, the judgment said that they're departing from ordinary.
Yes.
Exactly. How do you do that when you're the highest court in the land?
Yeah.
Why is there a need for you to depart?
Yeah.
From the ordinary procedures?
Yes.
So is it the individual in front of you?
Yeah.
Is it the case? Is it how this case is going to affect everyone else? Mm-hmm. So then you just stop trusting them, and you start seeing the need to change the system as a whole, which is part of the reason why I felt strongly about joining MK, because they spoke, again, they answered the question.
Yes. So, Bongs, I'm going to change the constitution. I'm going to change the constitutional court. What's going to happen? Let's say maybe MK take over. We get two-third majority. It's a constitutional court. Because now I feel like we're having two centers of power in this country. We have a government, is a decision, but we've got another one that will overturn the decision, and it's going to be like that.
Firstly, before I get to that, what Sbo was responding to on the issue of this is a stockful of Duduzile.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
There's a peer of ours. In fact, let me start it like this. Historically, there's families in the political sphere.
Yeah.
You've got your Mandelas, you've got your Sisulus, you've got your Tambos.
Yes.
They've never been antagonized. That's why I feel that that narrative is very much misplaced, and it's very disingenuous to assume that the children of Babu Zuma will be at the helm. No, it doesn't work like that. We're in a political terrain here.
Yeah.
And there's processes and procedures. We've got conferences. Currently, it's just an internet. And we must see it as something that is a blessing for your child to support you.
Yeah.
At the twilight of your years.
You guys are from the ANC.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Most of us politically were born within the ANC.
Yes.
But our umbilical cord obviously now is no longer there.
Yeah.
It's destined for a promised land, which is totally different from the ANC. Those are politics. Our politics were taught from there.
Yeah.
But also the issue of the Constitutional Court, I think let us apply logic and leave the legal fraternity for a moment. In a setup such as a constitutional democracy like ours, how do we then justify someone being sentenced to a 50-month imprisonment without any trial?
Yeah, and no appeal, by the way.
Yeah, is that fair?
Yeah.
For just refusing to go and attend a hearing It was not even an obligated hearing.
Yeah.
You see, there's no summons or anything. Just had to make an appearance.
Yeah.
By virtue of indicating that Zondo must recuse himself. And then let's take a step back, 2 or 3 years back from now, prior to Zondo assuming that role as a Chief Justice.
Yeah.
What was he?
He was
part
not...
of the panel. The Kgosi Seneke was supposed to
be
the one that
yes, yeah. Yeah.
And they were part of a panel that was led by the very same Kgosi Seneke.
Yeah.
Zondo was there. What did Zondo do? He led the state capture. Was there not a reward for the then deputy president who was setting up that commission?
Obvious.
When you look at the terms of reference, to reward someone who's an incumbent now as a chief justice and does not even complete his term of office, which is supposed to be 8 years.
I guess he's going to be living in August.
Yeah, he's living in August, but Mandi Samaya is coming.
Yeah.
Why didn't they then put Mandi Samaya prior?
I guess that's what Malema asked.
Yes.
So why are you coming in whereas you're going to be...
So the constitution that we claim is the best in the world is not consistent.
Yeah.
You see, how can an electoral court arrive at a different conclusion than an apex court, which is the constitutional court, unless we think that those people are captured? And that is just the general theory that we assume. Majority of them. Look at the presidents. The presidency under the incumbent president, Ramaphosa.
Yeah.
They've taken the intelligence and put it right there in the office of the president. There's no accountability there.
Yes.
Because there's a slush fund that can be used willy-nilly. And there are intelligent operatives that are done that is not known. Well, obviously, intelligence needs to be kept secret. But this is an indication that there are things that have been done behind us that we don't know. What is the justification that Zuma must not go to parliament now? Whereas the electoral court interpreted it otherwise. Unless the IEC has a motive. And that motive is sponsored by these doomsayers.
Okay.
And nemesis of the organization.
Yeah.
So there's no consistency in as far as some of these things are concerned. So we need to track very carefully and not forget too easy. And one thing that is very paramount is that the prerogative of the president plays a role. Because at the center of everything is the one that appoints. It recommends, it appoints, recommends. And normally when it's recommended by the Judicial Service Commission, everything is to go by that route.
Yeah.
So that is where we find ourselves today. So there's no consistency in some of these things that have been done.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So there's many, and people must ask because we're also... we want to give answers so that people can vote correctly. Some might be confused as to why MK, but we're clarifying them. We're clarifying issues so people are on par and be consistent with the truth and how these things have been developing.
Okay.
Yes.
So people must be just President Zuma will be on the ballot box.
It will be there on the ballot box. Yeah. And members and supporters of MK in their large numbers are not worried about that.
Yeah.
This is just, by the way, one of the wins. When you are facing a storm, you just need to pass through them. Those things. But like I told, there are many technicalities. There are many ways to kill a cat. If we are adamant that Obabu Zuma will emerge as a president, then we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Can I comment?
Yes, sir.
But we also need to remember, Malala has been preaching the same thing for the past, I think, 2 months. He has said that it becomes a problem whereby you have got a cabinet, the president, the ministers, and all of those, who are also part of the NEC.
Yes.
And now who accounts to who?
Yeah.
He's been preaching the same message.
Yes.
So now he's been saying that the NEC is not going to be deployed in the state. Instead, professionals are going to be deployed in the state.
Okay.
And the NEC is going to give a line of march.
Yeah.
So how is it that Zuma himself has been preaching the same thing on all public platforms, and now you have got this media storm whereby everybody is losing it because he's not going to be in parliament? Like you're saying, there's a lot of technicalities.
Yes.
But one of them is that let us deploy professionals which are going to account to the NEC, which are going to account to Zuma, because now there's a policy direction that we need to take as an organization. So as soon as you are deployed, you're going to follow that policy. If you don't follow the policy, then they're going to pull you out.
Yeah.
It's as simple as
so
that.
it's never going to Bill. It was never going to parliament either way.
Look, we have reached a stage in South African politics where we need to look at what has worked, what has not worked.
Yes.
What has not worked is the fact that you've got comrades who sit in cabinet meetings and then go to Lekotlas and NEC meetings and they don't account to anyone.
Yeah.
Because you steal, I steal, you don't implement, I don't implement Ratwan.
Yes.
So that has not been working, and he raised it.
Okay.
Right? He raised it and he says this is another way to try and rectify the issue, is for some of us to stay here and not be deployed in the state, and then we deploy professionals so that they can account to us.
All right.
If they don't follow our policies and implement them. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. We're still coming to you live on www.khosifm.co.za. Coming to you live on Facebook. If you have any questions for my panel, please send us those WhatsApps more 064 548 7176, and then I will, even if voice notes, that'll be nice for us to hear because they are here on Ward 60. Ward 60, any structure here?
Yeah, the structure is in full swing. It's,
Ward 60, right?
Yeah, it's full swing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen them around Westview, to be honest. And there's a space, mobile clean Gimo, huge one that can just put a key. My parking day is there as well. Come and ask him. I've never seen that. What?
Thank you for the donation.
As a member of MK yourself, I think comrades, wherever they are listening in, there's a donation for my key. Gazebo's on the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, the structure is in full swing. It's led by Commander Jones and Keda Meme.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's in full swing. Comrades have been working the ground, and people are receptive of MK.
Yes.
Obviously, we had challenges of establishing a structure. Comrades coming in. Some saw us on TikTok, on various social media, Facebook, and then we had to consolidate. But the structure is in full swing now. Even prior to coming to the interview,
yes,
I was with comrades that are busy. We're at an advanced stage of preparations for the elections.
Okay, good.
It will primarily start on Monday, which is special votes on Monday and Tuesday. So our comrades are there.
All right. You had a very successful manifesto launch, even though it took hours for you to start. What happened? Before the manifesto, let's go pick this one. What happened? Because we have reports. It's actually in the newspapers. IOL has the article. It has an article which says sabotage. What happened? Like, your program was supposed to start at what, 8, 9? If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
And then it only went on, got to 6 hours later, right?
Yes.
What happened?
What
were the delays? Because one of the reports was there was no network signal, apparently. And I like it because on the article, it was the people who actually complained were the reporters.
The media houses that are complaining.
Yeah, that was we can't broadcast this thing. Because then I was sitting here trying to find it more YouTube, but I can't take anything. I can't see this thing. What is this thing? And I will see it will freeze. It will come. I'm like, man, come on.
Remember, there was no coverage of the manifesto on television.
Yeah.
And
but SABC was there.
But look, compared to what
you are used to seeing with the other ones.
Yes, exactly. So they had to try and block that from happening. But equally then they needed to block media houses and journalists from broadcasting it on social platforms. So they had to block the signal.
Okay, like beside the signal, what actually happened? Were they told how to do that?
No, remember the signal blocking is not and it's not individual based. It's a state. It's an intelligence thing.
Okay.
It's devices that are used
to block
and who has access to those devices.
Obviously. I remember that thing happened to Parliament once.
Yeah.
Remember that.
And who was the minister there? The very same marshal.
Yeah, that's the same thing now.
No, I'm not saying. The minister and the intelligence, I think it's Monji. What was it?
Ngungubele
was what? Isn't
Zizi Koda, no.
There's who's this? Because they're based at the presidency.
Yeah, they're in the presidency.
There's the presidency, yes. The intelligence, right?
Like deputy
so if you take everything there to the
yes.
presidency, it means that, you are in charge of everything. You're in charge of the state.
Yeah, of course.
So when you point fingers, then we don't need to look any further.
Right to record.
Those devices come from intelligence operatives. And where are they based?
Yeah. So it was the signal thing, which was widely publicized. The buses. Transport, what happened?
There are many issues. Organizationally, we were planned. And this planning had only taken 2 weeks, but it had materialized because we were on the front foot to ensure that we mobilize support. And the masses were there in their numbers. But prior, as it would have happened, this is not the first instance. There's multiple of events that have led to these events, and always there's a sabotage that happened prior to events taking place. The activities that MK would have prepared, but they were sabotaged prior on the eve. So we were promised buses never materialized. We were told that we'll have mini buses never materialized.
Okay.
Taxis, and then few of them only availed themselves. So this is something at the upper structure. Then who are we to play?
Wow.
Upper structure must account, because this is where we are. We don't want to dwell too much on these issues, but we are fine because we have passed them. This is a phase that the organization such as MK had to confine itself to and pass.
Yeah.
Because it's testing our character, that our masses, are they really genuine or not? Market to oppose what we call the UE, the G8 countries, which are exploiting minerals in Africa and Asia and some other areas of the world. So we must resist that. We must guard our sovereignty, because our parents fought hard, blood and sweat, to ensure that we attain democracy. But within this democracy, the people that were negotiating there at the end, just like these Nicodemus characters within the organization. So we must always guard. So when we guard, it does not mean that we don't trust. Some of them, they laugh with us.
Yes.
You see, and
like Judas
there are many. So it must not, if you are a character that is well built politically, you should not be worried about that. The same thing happened with EFF. Gaten McKenzie and Kunene, they went after the establishment of 2 years down the line of EFF, claiming that they started the organization, they paid monies and everything. Where are they now? A leading Patriotic Alliance. They are only relevant somewhere in the Tlen Karoo there, where they've got a small constituents. But what are they doing? They're collecting money. Julia said it the other day. At the center of everything, you might be traveling in a polo or something, not wanting to use VIP protection. But they also sustain themselves by wanting to garner support. Through that, they do what? Corruption. They give tenders to themselves. That's what they do. So the very same thing has been done. There's money that has been dangled to some of our comrades who are very loyal. And we've trusted them as struggle heroes. But once a carrot gets to be dangled for you, you want to jump for it. And the same instance has been done within MK. So we're not surprised
about all these things.
Elections, we're just a week away. The dust will settle and men will face the chop. Some will go back to churches where they are preaching.
Because some was saying there was roadblocks all of a sudden motiling from KZN. Roadblocks were established. That took long. I mean, it was like a lot.
There were a lot of petty issues. Like a lot of seriously petty issues, which were mind-boggling. But like he said, if you're a politician, you can't get emotional over these things. You understand them and you know. Hence, if you look at khumalo as well, if you understand politics and you understand the position that he held, there was no way that you would have sold out and bought all these cars and these houses if you understood the position that you hold,
that you are in,
the political power that you have, and the influence that you're going to have after elections. Because now you're going to be sitting there with deploying comrades, moving the gears, the levers up and down from that position and influencing from national. It means that comrade is not a politician. Yes. Because if you were a politician, you would have known that no, it's fine. I've got political power and I've got political influence. Then you wait for that moment to come whereby you can shift the levers. But he couldn't wait for that. I don't know, maybe it's poverty.
But just to add to what my colleagues are saying, at the end of the day, I think let's give a hands up to South Africans who came out in their numbers.
Of course.
In between everything that Ubongani just explained and Umsizi just explained, people got there and we were safe. We got there. 40,000 people used their own funds. We did not cater for food. We did not give anyone anything. We did not give anyone anything. People came there and they were happy. That's all we needed. And people got home again safely.
And no accidents on the road. Thank God.
Of course. We're very hopeful now.
You need to declare. So they are saying, no, as IFP, we've always had relations with Nikki Oppenham. It's a shocker.
It's something else.
It's information outside, and it's information that is in the public record. We, as a small party, that is 5 months. Everyone would have wanted to come and give us money, but at the end of the day, our aim was, let's use what we have at our disposal wisely, influently, and let's allow people, those who can, would make it. Those that can't, let's watch it. And let's be there. It's actually the spirit of accountability, which is the understanding of Ubabungamalala, the fact that 2 state powers or 2 levels of powers of someone being accountable. You're a minister, of finance.
Yeah.
You hold the largest economical pool of this country.
Yeah.
You hold trillions and trillions. That does not only belong to one individual.
Yeah.
As we sit here, I'm a working class. Some of us are working classes all around. It's your takes, my takes, everyone. Accountability is important.
Yeah.
Which is why Ubaba Nxamalala is saying at the end of the day, NEC, if you want to be part of the NEC of the MK, it's fine. Be part of it, but please don't go
The parliament.
employ someone else. So that when you steal money from parliament, you're not stealing money to only parliamentarians. You're also stealing money to NEC members. Right?
Yes.
I can then hold you, Kgosi, if you are there and say, Kgosi, you've just misused public funds.
Yeah.
And you're also misusing mine because now the NEC member will be able to contribute to taxation because he's not a member of parliament.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
It's important that accountability, that I think is the one pillar that we've been lacking as a country. If we were to sort that out, accountability, perhaps we could move forward and give strides. Besides the changing of our constitution, we should hold accountability to the heads of our states so that at the end of the day, they remember they got there through Ugogwami useKZN, Ugogwami use Eastern Cape, Ugogo, or sometimes Lala engadlile. But because of vote yakhe ulapha.
Yeah.
So we safeguard the MK. You only safeguard it by what? By making sure when we are the governing part. And the reason why I'm not saying if is because it's something practical.
Yeah.
We
when?
Can.
Is it a when? Like
it's,
when?
It's a matter of when.
I mean, they've been saying that over and
Let's be honest.
EFF is saying that all the time. Government in waiting.
Yes. No, let's be honest. The DA has always been the official
opposition.
Yeah. Ask yourself why.
Yeah.
It's the smallest majority within this country, or the smallest
minority,
yes. Right? But at the end of the day, they're able to be in opposition. Yet we've got 26 million South Africans, black people. It's because, let's be honest, and hold ourselves as black people accountable. We have not been exercising our vote. The very same vote that Steve Biko died for.
Yeah.
For you to vote. Yeah. We are not exercising it.
Yes.
Yet we are the very first people to complain. The professionals who are working for KPMG, for Deloitte, for PwC, for Standard Bank, for whichever parastatals, for retails. We are the first people to complain. I know this government is not working for me. You would ask yourself.
What's in the young in the first place? That's the first question.
Again, the young people.
Yeah.
They sadden me because they've got the ability to say, no, Mara, I didn't live through politics, through apartheid.
Yeah.
Apartheid is long gone, and you guys need to forget about it. Yes, we try to forget about it, and we will.
But you're being reminded every day.
But we're being reminded
every single day. Yes.
Thank you. So if you forget that it is even a privilege for you to go to UP, for you to go to WITS and study there, because that was an elite university.
For whites, yes.
You know, they forget that. And we need to then remind them, a vote. If you decide to vote for DA, it's a different issue of its own. Because it means yourself, you have
the issues are of the YouTube channel, like the Kgosi on a live show. Go there, please subscribe and like and share and comment as well, and tell me what more you want us to talk about. I mean, the MK people or MK commanders in the studio today. We're talking about a lot of things, man. And I'm gonna be taking a get 10 to 9, and we'll be out of here by 9:30. Jeez, I resist on Lemo Manifesto. Let's run quickly to the pillars. Okay.
So someone wanted to correct you here that the program started at 10, not at 2 p.m. And they're correct because I arrived just after 12 and the program had been running by then.
Why can't you send me a voice note and say it on air? Because it seems like a 10. It's not a problem. I can't but you were there. I was like a 2. They were supposed to start at 10. But
no, I think when they say it started at 2, that means Ubaba Nxamalala got there around 2.
Or maybe that's what they... Okay.
That's when... officially
like
it started.
Things.
But at the end of the day, we started with entertainment and artists that were there performing. So that's technically that's what we did.
Of
and
course.
I don't think that's wrong.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Okay, I apologize to the loyal MK members.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, I apologize. I apologize. We feel like we must please. All right. All right, the pillars, guys. One reclaiming our dignity. Can you just take a minute And because it's a long thing, 26 pages, right? Your whole manifesto is a long one. I can't go line by line. So I'm going to go get headlines a day. Bongs, reclaim our dignity. How's that?
Yes.
Yeah, talk to me.
As I've touched on it partially in passing, what reclaiming our Ubuntu.
Yes.
The Batupili principle.
Yeah.
Who we are. At the center of everything, we must be underpinned by Africanism. Our people are peace-loving people.
Yeah.
So we must be able to live in a society that has peace and tranquility, where people have an understanding of each other and appreciation of one another.
Yeah.
You see, as enshrined in the the Freedom Charter. So we're reclaiming our own roots, going back. And key amongst them is the recognition of traditional leaders within the hierarchy of our society. We're not saying that we're going to overlook Roman Dutch law, but it cannot supersede our own Africanism.
Of course.
As Pan-Africanists, we must also be bold over our own ideology.
Yeah.
Which is Africanism. That is what we want.
Okay.
So when we're saying that, we're reclaiming our dignity. We're going back to our roots and being able to identify with one another. I think in the recent campaign trails that Ubaba has been doing, he went and recognized the new, king of the Khoisan.
Yeah. Is the king of the Khoisan?
Yes, there's a king of the Khoisan in the Cape.
Okay.
At least to be recognized. See, because the color on its own, it's a dominion, and that has its own constituency.
All right. Okay.
So must be
And
able
I've got issues with that.
reciprocate with everyone.
Yeah.
We're a diversified society. So
Okay.
must appeal to every person, all corners of the country. So that is what we did. We
Yes.
must be able to recognize our kings and queens. They must not be reduced to the status of coming to unveil, statues and so forth.
Cut ribbons, kiss babies.
No. There must be a critical role in society.
Yes.
You see, we must go back to tribal authority. I know that some other areas in Limpopo, and Mpumalanga, and KZN are still doing it, and a portion of Eastern Cape. So we must be able to give them power. Why must we be superseded by a Roman Dutch law?
Yeah.
You see, one of the reasons that why South Africa is being said that it's the best country with the best constitution is because we don't really critique some of these things.
Yeah.
You see, a constitutional democracy like ours that is being embraced, at the end of the day, it comes to nothing. It amounts to naught. What Msisi said earlier on, there's a fragmentation of black people within various different organizations.
Yeah.
Why were we not belonging to one or two or three and rally behind that person? It's because we've got an interest of things that are of last, not sustainable to change people's lives.
Yeah.
Because if you are saying that you are a politician, you take an oath to say that I want to transform people's lives. I'm not here to save my own interests and my family's, but because to transform people's lives then make a change within society. So we're not seeing that. But that must be a vehicle that is also driven by traditional leaders.
Yeah.
You see, we can't leave that to a court, a bench of 10 or 15 people to sit and supersede us.
Yeah.
And make a determination. So we're a constitutional democracy, there's the judiciary, which is the apex of everything, because there's three arms of the state.
Yeah.
It's the legislature, it's the cabinet, which is the executive, as well as the judiciary. But all these, they succumb to what? The judiciary.
The judiciary, yes.
So the judiciary, so it means that the judge president, as chief justice, is the supreme
Yes.
president of the country in a nutshell.
Actually,
So
yeah.
we must not do that. So why don't we might as well go for presidential elections, which is one of the things that we are pushing, because we don't need national elections and local government elections. Let us go for presidential election, and the popular candidate must win.
Yeah.
And if they win, then we lead for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And we know who's the popular candidate out of all these ones that are contesting here now.
Okay, man.
If we had to go to the polls, it not goes without saying. It's ZUMA.
Number 2, reclaiming our land and mineral resources. Nutshell. Zbo.
It's a given, and it explains itself. We
Yeah.
don't even need to go for that. The fact that we want to say we want to emancipate a black person, it starts by being able to own means of production.
Yes.
The largest mean of production that we have as a country, minerals. So not only gold, mind you, we've got minerals that are currently being exported to China and India when they're making softwares that are used. Those things are supposed to be literally creating industries in South Africa.
Yes.
But the only reason why that is not being done is because there's always been a scramble for Africa.
Yeah.
And especially South Africa. There's always been a scramble for these countries. And because they always claimed us as sleeping giants, we've always been sleeping. And MK is saying, comrades, let's wake up. The giants have awoken.
Yeah, so RT is back.
What's back?
Is RT back?
Yeah,
On this one.
economic transformation.
Is it back now? I can reveal a faction of RT faction. That's why it's willing.
Back in the ANC, I
Yes.
think it was in 2012 on the centenary of the ANC.
Yeah.
Ubaba came with the concept that they were in the second transformation.
Yes.
If you recall very well.
Yeah, yes.
And Capital had to intervene quickly and say that no. You are not on the second transition. Transition means that you are going to be radical.
Yes.
When you readdress some of the challenges that are facing society.
Yeah.
They said we are on the second phase of the transition. Are we still there now? When our people are very much impoverished. Then it means that we are not there. So RET must be the driving force to transform people's life.
Okay.
People are not fighting for bread and butter issues. They want sustain so that they can sustain themselves.
Yeah.
And be independent. They don't want fame and anything. If I give a person a job, they're independent and they're able to sustain themselves, as opposed to you giving them a 350.
Okay, so
what must a person do with a 350? Because even if you have an idea, you can't conceptualize anything of 350.
Yes.
The minute you withdraw it, you've got airtime, you've got food that you must eat lunch. By the time you get to your household or you reach home, it's finished.
It's finished, really. Yeah.
But if you give someone a job, what do you do?
Create
sustenance for people to be independent. That character is there to call Tintswalo.
Yeah, Tintswalo. So, I mean, you guys have 350. You've got FET. Like you've got NEFSAS. You should be grateful for you guys have been given.
If I were to offer you for 350, what would you do with it?
I don't know.
How much is cooking oil?
350. Let's
How much is cooking oil?
Yeah, it's almost half of that. 50 bucks.
Yeah.
How much now? 100 rands, ne?
100 rands.
For I'm like,
Take
That
it.
was different, no name brands. 100 brands.
you know, for number of people, and Kuna always said, because I was like, it's 9 million people, right, that are receiving this 350, by the way. Times that is how much a month that we are spending.
It's what Tokyo, remember during the COVID phenomenon.
Yes.
Tokyo once came forward and revealed some of the secrets of the treasury. This is exactly the same thing. We are creating a parasite system within the economy. People that are over-reliant on governance.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't create sustenance. And there's one person that once said something very fundamental. You see, as black professionals, in fact, professionalism, they're entitled. We've divorced vocational training. If you check the economic setup and the education phase of South Africa, we're no longer going the vocational way. People are studying. I'm not saying that some other qualifications are irrelevant. But you study office administration. What is there to study about office? You are being a PA.
What are you going to do? Yes.
Is that thing going to drive the vehicle? An economy like South Africa that is blessed with mineral endowment needs engineers, artisans.
Yeah.
You see, welders and all these things, builders, trades, different various trades that are going to propel the economy to flourish.
Exactly.
But where we are, or office management, or PR, just journalism, it's the duplication of all these things. But one thing that you're not being taught is to be an entrepreneur independent to sustain yourself. How did
so MK is going to come with those programs, I believe.
Exactly.
All
we
right.
must be able to innovative, encourage people to be black industrialists.
Industrialists, yeah.
Not what we're seeing with the BEE. BEE has given shares to people. Are those people still speaking the tone of struggle? No. I looked at Frank Chikane, who was uttering a lot of nonsense this past weekend. And as a pastor, I forgive myself. But really, I must critique him like a politician.
Yeah.
The ANC is still the vehicle of hope. Where?
You
yourself,
because you are a billionaire.
How did you have shares in MTN? We were all in the trenches. Not myself, but I'm saying yourself to
some of our fathers were there with you.
You can't be really speaking of a ANC that can realize people a better story.
But tell me, but tell me, if you times this 9 million by 350 for 12 months, how many factories do you think we can build?
Of course, I was going to ask that.
So who's this? I'm not sure if I should mention a name. There was a 702 discussion that took place, I think, a day or two ago, and Tutugile Zuma was there representing the ANC.
Yes.
And she spoke about industrialization, and she said that they're gonna up their efforts and create black industrialists.
Yeah.
Now, the question then should be why haven't you taken these 350s times 9 million
and done
exactly that? Yeah. And build factories and start off somewhere, because now you've got a whole lot of young people that are drunkards, that are into drugs, that entertain their minds via entertainment. Yes, via entertainment, because now they've got nothing to do.
And by the way, you don't even need to build a factory. How talk Hamaskral? Ne? What's a name Limpopo? A lot of factories there.
Yes.
They are closed.
What's happening there?
Only one factory I think is working. Nestle still operating there. The rest of them are closed.
No, the ANC must during our years while we were still in Kipite,
Yes.
They marched there. I think it was 2017. Yeah, it was 2017 or 2018. We marched there. Did it amount to anything?
Yes.
Nothing.
You see?
You are marching against yourself.
Even
The very same
recently.
people that are marching to. They are directors within the city of Tshwane under the previous led administration of the ANC.
Yes.
As directors. You are someone who's sitting in a youth advisory council in the mayor's office. Are you going to do any change?
No.
Because the incumbent is DA. Do you think DA can entertain you knowing that very well that you're ANC?
Why, Bon?
And
Yeah.
they won't want to propel an area that is on the outskirts like Hammanskraal.
Yeah.
But we, as black people that are caring, because that is our own heritage, where we come from, it's our hood, it's our background, then we can create something that can sustain people, create employment, as opposed to you traveling to 2 buses or 3 buses coming to town.
Yeah.
So that thing, it's a dealing that we must address.
Of course.
And these are some of the initiatives that must come from young people. See.
Okay.
Not older people like ourselves.
All right. Yeah. Number 3, reclaim people's power.
Look, at the center of MK's formation and MK's vision is to transform the lives of South Africans. And we speak of the 2/3 majority, right?
Yeah.
Now, Thabo Mbeki had a 2/3 majority, of which he did nothing with. Instead, he gave us poems. So
He was an African, for goodness sakes. What's wrong with you?
he gave us poems. We don't eat poems.
We know he's a South African and he's African.
Why is he telling us he's African? We know that, So instead of doing something good and transformative with the 2/3 majority, he gave us poems.
Yeah.
Now, what we are trying to do is transform the country through changing the constitution.
Yeah.
And when we change the constitution, then we can change the constitution so that it actually changes the lives of people. Because with the current constitution that we have, you take 5 steps forward and then you take 10 steps
backwards. Yeah.
You have to consult I don't know how many stakeholders. You have to go through so many processes. By the time you even get to a point where you're trying to fix the problem, it has worsened 10 times.
All
right? So reclaiming people's power is about giving power back to the people by changing the constitution. But in order for us to do that, we need a 2/3 majority win. Also, the other burning issue that is there is the issue of the provinces. Yeah. The issue of service delivery. Now you've got something that is very strategic that is taking place, whereby South Africa is obviously divided into 9 provinces. Yeah. And then you've got the Western Cape, obviously, with its dynamics and the DA and all of that, right? So now what the MK wants to do is reduce the provinces, from 9 to 4.
4, all right.
Yes, so essentially then you've had 4 heads that are going to be playing oversight role across these 4 provinces.
So you're going to do like a federal state? What the DA is looking for, by the way, is what is that? Or one day, one federal state in the same concept as it is now?
We are reducing the provinces to 4.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
And still have premiers on those 4 provinces. We are
reducing the provinces to 4. Accountability is going to be easier. Flow of and identify or propose a solution. Yes. Right? And then furthermore, polish it until it's at a point where you can implement it. So as things stand, we've identified the problem, which is these 9 provinces and these segregations that happen and the issues of service delivery and all of that. Yeah. So then let's reduce the provinces and then have the 4 heads that are going to play oversight role like the premiers. And then have funds flow through that, and then we'll take it from there.
So I think reclaiming the economy will fall under that as well, Musne. That's pillar number 4. Number 5 as well, building our human capital on technological capabilities. Maybe somebody can explain me deeper than that. Bonks, can you be able to take that one?
Yes, building human capital is because we want adequacy. We want to deploy people to the right, that are matched with the right skills. We don't want to mismatch and put someone in. Just typical, because I have always these examples. In 2016 or 17? Yeah. When the rand was manipulated, when Des Van Rooyen was put as a Minister of Finance, who has a master's in finance and is a PhD candidate currently. Yeah. And they took a pharmaceutical, Joshua Dojamnandas, to become a minister, because it was the rand collapse. The banks colluded because they didn't want to accept. So we want people to be matched with their skills, adequacy, so that there is efficiency and accountability at the end. That is why we say that we want proper human capital. And we're referring to technology. We want to industrialize our industries. from the primary sector, secondary, up until the tertiary sector.
Yeah.
Because fourth industrial revolution is something that is there that we must appraise ourselves with.
Yeah.
So we must cater for these developments.
Yes.
So we don't want technology to supersede human capital. We must be aligned and reach an equilibrium point where we are able to sustain. Because when technology supersedes human capital, it means that there will be unemployment.
Yeah.
Because everything will be automated. So we want skills to be advanced whilst we're also advancing with the fourth industrial revolutions. Look at banks. The banking sector, everything is almost digital now.
Yeah.
I think also the retail and catering space, so restaurants, your McDonald's, and
they're becoming digital now.
exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
So must we eliminate? If we're striving to eliminate unemployment, how are we gonna measure this vis-a-vis fourth industrial revolution? So must be able to appraise these things on a equilibrium basis. Don't allow the other to supersede.
All right.
So that is where we are saying that we must skill our people from primary, secondary up until tertiary sector, so that people are skilled at the end of the day.
Okay.
And we carry technology. Look at what we're having. Now, we've got Gautrain, which is only dominated here in Gauteng. It speaks for itself. It's Gautrain.
Gautrain, yes.
This thing is supposed to be distributed nationally. How are we going to do that in a province like Limpopo and Mpumalanga? If we do not have the capabilities to sustain that. Was in the Gauteng is the golden mine? Well, obviously, for obvious reasons, we come here to see greener pastures.
Of course.
But we must have a rollout plan so that our people can benefit at the end of the day. But by so doing, we need to have engineers and artisans, people that are qualified, who can keep up with the current developments that are happening throughout the whole world.
Yeah.
So that is where we speak of human capital as well as technology, because we want to be aligned and in sync with everything that is happening with the world out there.
All right. Reclaiming our spaces. That is pillar number 6. Zbo, okay. Just to explain to us deeper because I get what I can say, safety and security, and then the last one, reclaiming sovereignty and position of. Okay, that one we'll discuss as like on its own.
I feel like it was an injustice that you skipped economy.
I think that's why can we mix the economy number 5? Are they not saying the same thing similar? Economy building our human capital and even reclaiming people's power. Unless you can go this far.
Let me put it like this. There's the issue of human capital. You look at what other nations are doing, right? And this feeds into the economy. Now, what are the needs of the economy?
Okay.
And where are we going to get those skills from?
Yeah.
So you as a country, and the global environment is moving towards AI. It's moving towards technology. Okay. It's moving towards the fifth generation and sixth generation technology. Now, the South African public schooling system is not there yet, right? I heard that there's robotics, however, in the
some private schools, in the public school now.
In the public school somewhere, right?
Oh, okay.
So, but when you look at where is it?
Yeah.
Is it somewhere Ekunule? Is it somewhere Kamashu? Is it somewhere Langa? Is it somewhere Kukuletu as Kukun? No, it's not in those remote areas. It's in a suburban school. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Now the needs of the economy require us to move towards technology, right? Mm-hmm. And in the public, the economic direction has not been described. Yeah. The vision for that has not been given. Okay. Which means the needs or the required skills for us to achieve that economic goal is not aligned. Yeah. Right. So now you've got a problem whereby in the public schooling system, you don't have the necessary subjects, or this thing, technology and AI and robotics. Yeah. We have kids that can't read. We have kids that do not know how to, basic numeracy is a problem for them. Yes. We have a dire crisis in that department, right? and then you go all the way up to matric. Okay, fine. We already have the maths literacy issue and the 30% pass rate that we have, right? We have that issue. Raising these issues, what are you doing to catch up to the other BRICS nation in terms of technology? Because technology is the future. There's no defined vision. You look at SETA, Sector Education Training and Authority. Yeah. The corruption that is there is mind-blowing. Okay. I'm not sure if any of us right now have ever heard or received a report whereby SETA has been at the center of transforming skills development. Yeah, I don't know of such.
They matched some time ago, right? To be this QT, I get the individual cities before.
Yeah.
And they meshed under this QTCTO nonsense, whatever, I don't know.
No, they've got sub-departments now. There's one for IT, there's one
for health and whatnot, like
yes,
like
some government.
Yes.
But they are not at the center of revolutionizing skills development.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you look at the economy. You look at the economy and you look at the basic numeracy and basic literacy. You look at the matriculants that come out of the schooling system that go into varsity. First of all, most of them cannot get into varsity, right? Now, then you go into the economy and then you find professionals that are not even politically conscious.
Yeah.
Hence, you have some of them that vote DA and let us down, LGCT, right?
Yeah.
Now you look at the economy and what you see there is an economy that is racially segregated.
Yes.
What you see there is a government, especially of Ramaphosa, that goes out of its way to give contracts, big contracts, all the big ones and the small ones, to white companies.
Yeah.
And when black people are also in the space and competing for those contracts, they're called entrepreneurs. When it's big business, they're big contractors.
They're big contractors,
So we need to deal with the issue of the racial segregation that is there in the economy, and intentionally fund black entrepreneurs so that they can be as big as Bidvest, and also intentionally give contracts to black companies like it happened in the Zuma years, and then ensure that the kids that are coming out of the school system are skilled enough on a basic level to enter the market, the job market, even at with their matrics, and even when they enter university, they are able to enter through free education and then enter the job market, because you would have opened up the economy, because there would have been more employers, because you as a government would have intentionally funded black entrepreneurs, which means there's more businesses, which means there's a need for labor.
So that's where we cover most reclaiming our economy, right?
Yes.
And then building our human capital. Then the space is it?
I think spaces is more of reclaiming the ability of us having shelter, ability, and let's not say an ability, because we've been struggling as a country with just with reaching capacity in terms of human being sheltered, largely the elderly, those that are unable, disabled people, and the impoverished. We are behind, and I don't think it's because we are incapable of building the homes, but rather the management in human settlement, that you'd find that people are no longer living in those homes, but they're renting them out, and they're not renting to South Africans, they're renting to people from outside. That's also creating a vacuum, because there's now umkhulu or ugogo who's somewhere who doesn't have a home, but when are you staying somewhere else, and you're getting money on the other side, but also you want to claim from the government funding. So it's like really reclaiming our space. Also, again, it also includes an ability for transportation, revamping the railways and being able, because the killing of a railway was cheaper in terms of transportation, revamping the sector of taxis, because that's an industry on its own that has been like black owned for years, but currently it's not. If we're being honest, it's capitalized, it's owned elsewhere, because everyone who's buying a taxi is buying it somewhere else, pays like a mortgage, or not say a mortgage, but pays.
Is it through Rupert owns them? Apparently. There's this one.
We are not about to name names, but it's not old. But models have been created, and a lot of people, I think Usizwe, one of the presenters in Metro FM, had sat with other people and that had engaged. Which, why are we not owning that industry? It's not like the industry doesn't have the capital to sit down and say, okay, how about we buy taxis ourselves, 100, and then the people who are heading it allow businesses to come and buy the taxis directly from us. Or we go to China directly, build them, come back, sit down, and then we distribute. It's a model that can work. But obviously, like Umsizi had been saying, these things are not at a stage where we are saying it's final, blueprint done. No, we are saying as we build, we allow professionals, we allow everyone to have an input, because it's not owned by the current leaders or the current MK members. Everyone has got a voice, whether you're an MK member or not. By the time two-third majority has ruled and we are the government, you also, your opinion counts.
Yes.
Whether you've been Kwagogo and now you see this train is moving, get into the train.
Yeah.
Add your input.
Follow across like they used to do. Remember?
Yes.
And definitely that is going to be a problem. But that's life.
Pillar number 7, reclaiming our safety and security. We can take it quickly.
I think that one is straightforward. We don't want lawlessness in a society.
Yeah.
So the rule of law must take its course, and no one must be above the law.
Yes.
Including us lawmakers.
Yeah.
Or interpreters of the law.
Yes.
Which is the legal fraternity.
Okay.
So it speaks for itself eloquently that we want a safe and environment and peaceful environment.
Yeah.
Where people can coexist amongst each other without intimidation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of societal issues that we're confined with. Amongst them is GBV.
Yes.
There's an instance in Soshanguve where a kid was
shot
was shot dead.
Yeah.
As a result of a hijacking. You see.
Yeah.
So those things we must appeal society. We must have a consciousness. And also are saying that if a person is sent to jail for a sentence, that person must take that opportunity as a rehabilitation and come back to be active in society and repent from their acts.
Okay.
Not that all will be lost, or it's a forgive and forget matter, but it's a rehabilitative process that one must undergo. So that you come back into society and be able to contribute meaningfully so.
Yeah.
So that is what we want, not what we are seeing under the current governments where drugs are ruling our streets and corners and everything. Prostitution within the area of Pretoria West is very rampant. But we have got a police station that is right here on the main road on Church Street.
Cannot happen to.
They just pass there, they hood sometimes for that man.
Can we panyaza guy? Are we gonna have them in under the MK administration? I can even it's a
strategy that is used for job creation.
Yes.
This thing must be rolled out throughout. There's no point in having panyanas and you've got metros.
Yeah.
There's a duplication there. Who must do what here? Because metros are also bylaws officers. They look after everything.
They do everything. Yes.
They look after bylaws, so
and all those things. Yes.
All those things that have been done by them. They are traffic officers. So, Panyazas, what do they do?
Yeah.
So, but if it's meaningful, then roll it out national. It must not be only confined to Gauteng.
Yeah.
Create meaningful unemployment. They must not sit. I always see them. No, you must look after the value chain. Who's supplying the boots and everything of there?
Those cars, man.
Yeah.
I just love the cars. I want
they
must give me one of those
not
cars.
given advanced driving.
Jesus,
to
man.
drive those expensive. That's a German machine.
Yeah, that thing needs to be driven.
It costs half a
But
million.
So, but
integrated properly.
Yeah.
In phases, not what they did, ANC cadres and come in China, there's employment. They must do it properly. Many of them, I know some of them, then they were not trained adequately.
We know them.
Yeah.
So they must. Things must be done in a proper manner. That's always saying skilled people must occupy those positions so that we've got an economy that can thrive with adequate people with skills.
Yeah, because I was speaking to one of them who came here yesterday. I think the day we spoke the first time.
Yeah.
The guy came, he took a t-shirt as well. He's going to join you guys.
A lot of them.
Very soon, yeah. So he came to consult, and then Westman came in, and it's like all of a sudden we are in the studio and everything was up and running. So he's one of the banyasas. Why you be made glorified security guards? Like, because I don't understand whatever you guys are doing, a security person can do. Not even a cop. No. We are being given more training, apparently. It's shame, at least. They've been given more training to now work as traffic officers, in a way. They can now arrest, they can detain and whatnot. Okay, no, at least it's better. Because now I was asking even the councillor, then Vili cable theft now and then.
Yeah, between
why?
Ville and Lotus.
Yeah, Lotus Garden here, Jalaping and everything. Why can't you just put those people there?
Got our own infrastructure.
That's
Yeah, I get a yeah. Yeah, I'm
Security must manage that.
I mean, yeah, but
but they're not
they just
trained.
put those big cars there with blue lights. It's fine.
They're not trained. They are not trained enough to deal with certain issues in society.
Yes.
And even when you confront them or when you talk to them, you're not talking to someone who is mindful and present.
Yes.
In their job. Even with the uniform, even if there's 10 of them there, if you talk to them, they just roam around and just look active. It's like some EPWP workers who are just there and lying on the grass.
Yes.
these panyaza sometimes are just roaming around and just doing nothing there.
Okay, and it's fine. So hopefully when big when, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When MK comes in, 2/3 majority will sort this myth out. Yeah.
All
let's have a
No, but then
like EFF said they're gonna chase them away. I'm like, oh, come on.
No, that doesn't make any
it's
sense.
upskilling.
Yeah.
And the fact that we speak about the very same thing. At the end of the day, those are human beings.
Of course.
They are doing a living. And probably there is a possibility that amongst them, they are the breadwinners at home.
Yeah.
You can't take that away. We know that. So what we need to do as the MK, we've always said, TVET needs to consider taking back, and this is my view. Now, let me not say MK. This is my view.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we need to give back TVET, these engineering, artisan activities, things that deals with welding. They need to move from varsity back to TVET.
The TVET, yes.
And allow the TVET system to be other means of higher education training.
Yeah.
Because we being honest, there are skills like plumbing which are a need. Imagine this.
That's an MK position.
Yeah.
Like this is ilogishi, right?
Yes.
It needs plumbing, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Your toilet blocks, anything blocks, it needs a plumber.
Of course.
We don't have plumbers in South Africa. Why? Because our young people don't see that as fashionable. We need to reignite the understanding of black people of you don't do a job because it's fashionable, but you do it because it provides you a living. And if it's good, do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. So moving these different activities that are literally hand delivered, move them back to TVET. TVET don't allow you to graduate without getting 18 months of training.
Yeah.
Varsities. You are an engineer, chemical engineer. You've never even been inside a laboratory. But you've just got a BC in micro microbiology.
Yeah.
But I'm giving you utensils and I'm saying,
can you please make me a bomb?
So let's move these things back there.
Yeah.
Let's these skills stand on their own and let's see them thrive.
Yeah.
You know why China has thrived so much? It's because they've made a skill. Ukuthi ingane who is still in primary learns how to code. Learns how to put it, like literally.
I've seen that.
Basics.
I'm like, wow. Okay.
If we learn, ingane is in primary. Learns that. It's an understanding because remember, we are building a mind that says, how do I think outside the box? Which is why Chinese are able to thrive in any economy in the world.
Yeah.
We can speak about Nigerians, or would say they thrive, but that thriving
For one
is different. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. They thrive differently.
Yeah.
Chinese, they thrive through skills.
Yeah.
You go there, you get bomb makers, no pun intended. You go there, you get engineers that will build your train from scratch. You get people who can build a robot from scratch too. So the reason why, even when Gautrain was being made, we went to China to recruit.
Yeah.
And they were the main contractors.
Yeah.
And when they left with their skill, they went back to their country. We then had to train people. We are currently lacking in engineers to maintain the Gautrain.
Yeah.
Because we don't have them. Imagine a country that has a railway that needs to transfer someone from a different country, bring them to South Africa so that we sort a maintenance issue, and then we take them back to their country.
With no skill left.
Is that?
Yeah. All right. The last pillar is reclaiming sovereignty and positioning Africa in the world. Who's gonna take that one?
Ahmed, that's.
Is it true that you are a company?
Sorry.
You tell like you are a company.
Who?
Apparently,
South
we have been
Africa.
sold as the company. Yeah,
the
rented like an CIPC number.
Yes, we are. We are. Look.
Seriously.
Look. You know, politics is very
The country
deep.
can be auctioned.
Yes. Look, politics is very deep.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do not understand the behind the scenes and the politics of politics. They don't understand. They just see politics. They know politicking.
Yeah.
Yes, they know politicking. Him, China. But when you go deep and you look at who really owns you,
Yes.
Who owns this country? Who owns the economy?
It's not us.
Who are the shareholders? Right.
Yeah.
You look at the private security companies that exist.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, Zuma mentioned that they should be nationalized.
Is it?
Yes, because now these companies are like G4S.
They're becoming too powerful.
They're from the UK, and they're collecting intel and all of that.
About the country,
about every corner block. There's what ADT outside.
ADT in Namogina Leon.
Yes, you know. So now these companies report back to London because that's where the shareholders are, and in America.
Yeah.
How is it that as a country our security is actually it comes from international shareholders?
Yeah.
That is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Right, which is the security and the security, yes,
and safety.
So, but look, as you look at Iran and you look at what they just did to Israel, then you understand that is Iran as well militarily is very strong.
Yeah.
So and Iran is also joining BRICS.
Okay.
So our position is that we need to move away from Western powers.
Yes.
Militarily, economically, politically, and align ourselves with BRICS. And then from there, then we can have the exchange of ideas, skills development, hence even the nuclear project that Zuma embarked on.
Yes.
We had contracted Russia. And the reason why we chose Russia was because they were going to train our own engineers so that when Russia goes back, we can maintain our own reactors and all of that.
Yeah.
But obviously then DA and Bohel and Suzman,
they
stepped
did that.
in. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Possibility of coalition, let's say maybe by some miracle, I don't know, we don't get the 2/3. Coalition, which one is the most likely for you guys to join with?
No man is an island. No man is an island.
Okay.
Politically, that's why they say there are no permanent friends, there are no permanent
enemies. Yes.
All political parties that will align with the MK are all left-leaning organizations.
Yeah.
That's why you find ourselves not having any relationship to coexist with capital, which is mainly dominated by white.
Okay.
So all the political parties that align with the leftist ideology and principle, then we're amenable to work with them.
All right.
So without any mention of names, they know themselves. I believe you know them as well.
I don't know nothing. I'm just a host.
The likes of Action XA, DA, so petrol and oil.
Of course, yeah.
So they won't coexist there.
Yeah.
Including Gwagogo by virtue of being subjected to a lot of harassment like this to where we are. Because we're still born.
Yeah.
But the manner in which they've harassed us.
It's like you've been here forever, eh?
Yeah, and it's too much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, this was the people's mandate, gentlemen, ladies. Like, when I get it. So you can just go to Google and just because somebody was saying that on radio. If you want the mandate of the manifesto of the because I agree, and I would just type MK Manifesto and take a keyboard, and then this guy said, "No, just go and say MK Manifesto. You'll find it." And I did that, and I got it, and then but it's 26 pages long. So if you wanna read for yourself, just go to Google, and then you search it, and then download it for yourself, read for yourself. No, how ready are you? The last question. Because it's here now. Let's take 2 minutes.
Let me just give my own concluding remarks.
Yeah.
No, the state of readiness were ready. We have never been this ready.
Yes.
Is South Africa ready for a new government in waiting?
Yeah.
That is a question that I'm posing.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that. We are ready to deliver.
Yeah.
And then on my personal end, then shout out to everyone that is listening.
Yeah.
I've been harassed here with WhatsApp, so my wife is listening.
What was harassing? No,
I get the.
Oh, they're harassing because I give them WhatsApp numbers. They harass me, and then
including our members as well that are listening, they've tuned in to ensure that they participate. I think they're sending comments, the ground.
Yeah.
Our church that affiliates of MK, everyone that knows MK within Tshwane and throughout the whole country.
Yeah.
We really thank you so much. Let us go and deliver MK with a resounding victory come 29th May.
Yeah.
Jigijelam
Spoon, when are you closing?
My closing are just simple. Thank you to everyone who's been supportive from the start until today.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be Umkhonto Wesizwe if we didn't represent every pillar from a black child who is in any part of this country till those that are in the metropolitan cities. Most importantly, shout out to all the cadres that literally allow us as a zone, in a city zone, to work. You guys have been amazing, and thank you so much for your support, because you allow us to be seen as leaders. You are the ones that are actually leading with us, and without you and your support, we wouldn't be where we are. Okay. And thank you, Subabu Ngamalala.
Yes.
The idea has been flourished. It's flourishing now. It's we are all now safeguarding this baby. We're like, it's mine.
Yeah.
And we're saying it's mine because we literally are believing in the pillars of what it stands for. At the end of the day, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you again for hosting us. You've been very
my
kind.
pleasure. My pleasure. I'm Zizi.
I'm just gonna say, well, thank you for hosting us, and thank you to the audience that we received. But my message is very simple. I normally tell, when we're busy with door-to-door, I normally tell the electorate that, look, give Ubaba the chance to continue where he left off. Give Ubaba a chance to implement free education.
Okay.
Give him a chance to build more universities. Give him a chance to roll out nuclear power. Give him a chance to increase his infrastructure development. We're not talking about fictional things. We're just saying we were paused, so let's continue after the 29th of May.
Yeah. All right. There you have it. Yeah. What can I say now? I can't say much, People have spoken. The Monday to Tuesday, so let's go. Google, go Bafanas, let's check it. Then please download for yourselves. Listen, this is going to be on a podcast tonight. I'm going to edit and put it on podcast tonight. It's on Spotify and MK FM. The name of the show is the Kgosi on the live show. Because you are live on Facebook, now you are live on www.khosifm.co.za. So if you want to listen more and comment, go to YouTube page and get the same name, the Kgosi on the live show, and then you just comment there. Please tell us what you want to hear next again. Guys, thank you, Lona Lily Trilekwanu, so much. I appreciate you guys being here. I've been wanting to see MK people in this room, man, for such a long time. You guys are here now, and I appreciate that. Thank you. And this is yours. It's open for anything. Because I really remember when I joined that first group that I told you about earlier. I told them, I've got a podcast and a radio station. If you guys want to come and say anything about MK, you are more than welcome. And I've been open for everyone, by the way. It's not like, because I've been giving ANC a chance, EFF a chance, everybody a chance, because I want us to all do this thing fairly. Yeah. We win on merit, we don't win on bribery and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go there for that to May. Let's vote with your conscience. Let's vote for anyone we believe that's going to give us what we really need. But now, rather say, the tried and tested is the best way. Yes. Bye-bye.
Thank you.